Here's what's making news now around Indiana, brought to you by your Indiana Fever. Well, Fort Wayne Mayor Tom Henry has announced a new policy to provide non-union city employees with paid parental leave. The policy will be presented to the Fort Wayne Common Council in the coming week with discussion and a possible vote next month. And Louisiana-based Sazerac Company has made the first step in its recently announced plans to locate a new alcohol bottling facility in Indiana. The company has purchased the former General Mills plant in New Albany, all part of an overall $66 million investment expected to create 110 jobs over the next 3 years. Well, Indianapolis-based Elevate Ventures has landed on a top 10 list of investors and service providers in 2017 globally. That's according to private data and analytics firm PitchBook. And for more on what the ranking means and news of still more growth, let's bring in now CEO Chris LaMothe. And Chris, as always, welcome to the program.
Great to be here again.
Lots going on, indeed, at Elevate Ventures. First of all, a lot of people, certainly the business community, have heard about Elevate. But give us the model, give us the concept and what Elevate Ventures is all about.
So we really have two focuses. One is developing partnerships throughout the state with regions and communities that are really interested in growing an innovative and entrepreneurial culture. So we're going in and really helping develop that. And then the other, which we're most well known for, is we invest in startup and early stage companies.
Yeah. And that investment, and those investment numbers are substantial. Since the inception of Elevate, you've invested some $78.5 million, impacting a whopping number, 267 companies.
Yes. Yes, we've been really fortunate, and Gary, as you and I have talked in the past, something like this doesn't happen overnight. I mean, there are people that were here before me. I've got a dynamite staff that's fantastic. But if you draw all the way back to where did all of this start? It really goes back, 10, 15 years ago to Indiana Chamber of Commerce doing studies and pointing out where Indiana's deficits were. And as you remember, yep. Indiana was at the bottom in almost everything. But over the course of the last 12, 14 years, we've been terribly blessed by really 3 governors that have been very, very focused at building the economy and building opportunities for Hoosiers. But we've also had a legislature that has seen fit to invest in the Indiana Department of Commerce that has allowed us to develop these kind of programs and initiate them around the state.
All right, big news, and that's what you're here to talk about too, is PitchBook, which is kind of the definitive source when it comes to venture funding and investing. New annual numbers for 2017 puts Elevate Ventures #1 in the Midwest and on the top 10 globally.
Yes, we're pleased. We had a record year in 2016, record year in 2017. I believe we will have a record year in 2018. We're working our way through that, but it really does begin to highlight, I think, globally, that Indiana is very serious about business. It is, frankly, one of the top 5 places, I would argue, on the globe to start or grow a business. And I think the world is beginning to recognize all of that, and this recognition certainly is going to help us in this whole area of entrepreneurism and risk-taking.
You've invested in so many companies. There's the B Corp we have video of right now, the Bloomington-based startup getting a lot of attention. But what you talk about attention, whether it's the PitchBook attention or otherwise, investors are looking at Indiana in a different way now.
I think so, and I think we're starting to see some movement. The legislature saw fit to move forward on Next Level Fund. That's another piece to the puzzle in making sure that we have investment along the continuum for firms that are in Indiana. And frankly, there's entrepreneurs and people that are starting to look at actually starting their companies here, and they don't live here, at least now. So we're really excited about the momentum that's beginning to build. But again, that's occurred with a lot of people participating now over a long period of time.
All right, Chris LaMothe is the CEO at Elevate Ventures. Chris, as always, thank you and congratulations on the recognition.
Thank you, Gary.
All right.